Hi everybody, I'm Jen with the Giggly Gypsy and Allegory Gallery in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. If you are new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the little bell so that you're notified every time we post a new video. Without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so today we're going to learn how to do some really cute and easy to do links. They could be masculine, they can be feminine, and we're going to do a project with them. So we're going to learn how to do the links, and then we're going to do a bracelet with them. It will be a bracelet that has a clasp on it. So I'm going to use this toggle. It's a 2-part toggle. And I'm using 20 gauge wire. This is dead soft copper wire. And I've already cut my pieces to help speed up the process here. These are 3.5 inches each. Some helpful tools, a wire smoother, flat nose, a couple different kinds of chain nose pliers. I have the multi-tier bail making tool and flush cutters. And right here I have some clay beads that I found. They're approximately 10.5 by 7. And I've got some lava beads here that are 8.5. So just pretty much any bead that you feel might work. Just make sure that they are large enough to fit on a 20 gauge wire. And how many you need is going to depend on what length you want. After we do a couple of these links, I will measure them so that we know how long each link is, and it will be really pretty just by themselves. So on this 3.5 inch piece, I am going to do a 90-degree bend about 1 inch in. And I'm going to go up and over and create a loop. Take it off my tool, and I'm going to hold that straight across. And I'm going to wrap this tail around about 3 or 4 times. 2, 3, and there's just about 4. Tuck that little tail in. And that's what we have so far. We're going to turn it around to the other end. And right at that very end, we're going to do another loop. And I'm going to go in the opposite direction, I think. No. Let's keep the eyes going straight with one another. There, that's what we're going to do. And now we're going to wrap this loop after we put our one end of our toggle on it. We're going to wrap this around the coils we just made. And clip off that end. And tuck that in so you don't feel that rough spot. There, isn't that cute? Kind of looks like a little spring. And that link is about, it's just shy of 11 millimeters. And just over 3.5 millimeters. Okay. So there's one of those cute little links. Let's take another piece of 20 gauge wire. And this one I'm going to put a bead on. So again, at about 1 inch. I'm going to make a 90-degree bend and a loop. Open that eye up. Attach it to that link you just did. I'm going to do 3 coils and nip and tuck. All those coils in a row. Make sure that that rough spot is tucked in. All right. And now we're going to take one of our clay beads, put that on, and I'm going to do a 90-degree bend. And this, I'm going to have the eye go in the same direction. So all the lengths, the eyes are going to go in the same direction from one another. So I'm going to 90-degree bend that, leaving enough room to do the same amount of coils on each side. I'm going to go around and make that loop. Pull the loop straight across. And do 3 coils down. Nip the end and tuck it in. I just straightened everybody out there. And there's our second link. Now we're going to do another connector. So again, about 1 inch in, make a loop. Every time you do this from now on, do not forget to put it on that last link on your bracelet. I'm going to do 3 or 4 coils again. And tuck that end in. Okay. Making that loop in the same direction. right up next to that last coil you just did. And now we're going to coil it up on itself towards the other eye. Every time you clip, make sure that you're using the flat part of your flush cutters so that you don't have a burr. And then just tuck that end in. And straighten everybody out. We are going to continue that pattern until our bracelet is long enough. Make sure that first coil is nice and straight up against your loop. So there's 3 coils. Add a bead. This time let's go with one of the lava beads. And now making sure that you leave enough room for the same amount of coils. Do a 90-degree bend. Do the loop. And 3 coils on this side. Tuck that end in. Another spring. Yep. 90-degree bend. and coil towards the other eye. And then tuck your end in. Super cute. I'm going to do a couple of these just to get ahead of the game because it's all pretty repetitive. Put that onto the end of your last spring. Coils. And tuck in your end. Let's do some green. Make your 90-degree bend. And close up that loop. These were just some clay beads that I had lying around. If you don't have the clay beads, another suggestion, if you like the way that these look, is some African trade beads. They look very similar. I am loving this. Let's see how long we're at so far. We're about almost 3 or almost 4 inches. Let's do another coil bead, another spring. So there's 4 coils around. Same direction, 90-degree bend. and coil down over the first coil to the loop. Clip it. And tuck her in. Add another bead connector. And let's do another lava bead. I'm going to alternate those beads. Yeah, I really like that. Okay. Leave enough room for 3 coils. '90-degree bend and close the loop, going in the same direction. See, we are approximately 5 inches on that one. Let's see, let's plan on a 7-inch bracelet. So probably do another 2 at least, possibly 3 lengths. If we do a 7.5 bracelet, then that's fine too. This isn't meant for anyone in particular. Let's get 3 going just on the same side. Okay, we're going to do another spring. So notice when I do those coils, I'm keeping everyone real nice and tight right next to one another. And I'm doing 4 coils. We'll do one more of those links real slow together when we get to the last one. Got a little off on that one. Let's tighten it up before we put in the next coil.
Always hold the end of your wire that you're clipping off so it doesn't fly off into your eye or somebody else's eye. Doesn't end up on the floor and into your foot. Nobody likes sharp wire embedded in their foot. Okay. It's about 5.5 inches. We may have to do some more links. More than 3. We'll see when we get there. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of red in here this time. Yeah, we're going to go with this bead. Nope. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go with this different pattern, this swirly pattern. It's very pretty. Leaving enough room for 3 coils. Do our bend. Looks like this one got a little bit shortened. We'll see. I think we're going to fit 3 coils in there. Yep, we got 3. Our next coil, springy bead. You may be wondering if you need to take that extra step to bend that coil or to, tuck that coil in before you wrap it. And I say yes, because if you do not tuck that end in, you're going to have a little bit jutting out, and that's going to keep your coils from being straight. And this one is a little bit more refined and a little less organic, so you want to make sure everybody's straight. Okay, let's measure. Okay, so we will have to do some more coils. We're only at 6.5 and we want to go to 7.5. So I say another 2 coils ought to do it, another 2 connectors, because don't forget we have that little end right there. All right, so 2 more and we are done. Again, about 1 inch. And do your 90-degree bend and a loop. About 1 inch, 90-degree bend, and the loop. Nip and tuck. Okay, if I'm following my pattern, I want another lava bead in there. I'm using my flat nose to do that 90-degree bend, leaving about enough room for 3 coils. My ends in. Straighten her out. We're at 7, so 1 more spring ought to do it. And like I said, we're going to do this again real slow together. So starting off, we had that 3.5 inches of the 20 gauge wire. About 1 inch down from one end, I made a 90-degree bend and my loop. Coiling down 4 times. Nip your extra and tuck it in. Okay. 90-degree bend on the other end. Make your loop. Open that up before you coil back down and put on the other end of your toggle. If you don't care for toggles on bracelets, you want something a little bit more secure, go ahead and use a lobster claw. Okay, and we're going to coil back down over that first coil. Go around just a little bit more. Okay, clip off my extra using the flush part of the flush cutters against my piece so I don't have a sharp burr. And I'm gonna tuck that end in so that the rough part cannot grab my skin and it doesn't grab onto your clothes. Straighten everybody out. Isn't that adorable? And that was so easy to make. Just take your time and go slow. This bracelet right here is just over 7.5 inches. You take, yeah, it is 7 inches if you take into account the fact that that toggle is going to go inside there. So again, just keep measuring as you go. If you're making the bracelet for yourself, take a string around your wrist and make it about the size of the bracelet that you want and put it on your ruler. And then as you make your connectors and your springy links, just go ahead and keep measuring like we did together here on this one. And if you want to go an extra step, go ahead and make your liver of sulfur solution. This is fabulous stuff. It comes in chunk form so you don't waste much, and the directions are on the bottle. It's going to put a nice antique finish on this that you will end up having to polish with some steel wool. Make sure you neutralize it with baking soda first. That'll stop the patina process from going any further. And go ahead and shine and buff that up, and then you'll have a nice antique look.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. I hope you had fun. I know I did. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the little bell so you're notified every time we post a new video. If you have created what we have shown you in the tutorial today, please head on over to our Facebook group, Allegory Gallery Design Challenges, and post what you've created. We love to see everybody's art. Thank you. Bye-bye.